死んだは初めて俺に伝えている。
絶望の匂いだ。
面白いこと見せようか。ほら、こんなにガチンが多すぎて。
お父さん。
あかん。
ドナルド君、まだ死ぬ時じゃないでしょ。
アメリカ、万歳。ファイト。
絶対負けないよ。
何度辛いとまで。
出ろ。だってまだサンキュー言ってないでしょ。一回も言ってください。
おい、仲良くしてね。この世界、季節にいけるかな。昔グレートだった。大きにまたグレートになるかな。あのさ、有名人なら誰かのマンコ掴んでいいさ。そう。言い放せるで。
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to CobraCast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Mage IDOT of the 199. Happy to see all of you here. Yes, look at that. This is a real background. High production value, 100% real. So there you go. Today has been a slow news day, and I'm not sure what we're going to talk about. I have no idea. We're going to try to talk about something. As a good clickbait YouTuber, I have found a few stories that I think might be interesting enough, but it's been a really, really slow news day. It really has, man. Nothing going on today. Nothing worth talking about. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Cut your hair, you damn hippie. Yeah, man, my damn shit's falling everywhere. What the hell's going on right now? Yeah, my hair is getting way too long. It's getting way too long. I don't like it. Now I got to pick shit up. Professional streamer here, everyone. Professional. Hang on. Okay. All right. We're not dead yet. Sounded like gunshots. Well, you know, I'm not going to make a comment on what it was that fell over, but it doesn't really matter. All right. We're back now. That's all that matters. So hello, everyone. Welcome in to CobraCast 199. I am your host. Still wondering why you watch me. But anyway, it's been a really, really busy day, on Twitter. This has been one of the craziest news days. And I knew with me traveling, I knew this was going to happen because this happens every time I travel. Every time something crazy happens. And that's exactly, today has been one of the craziest news days. The cycle has been absolutely insane right now. And a lot of it started out with a clip of Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard is a badass. There's no other way to look at it. She is a badass. All right. And right here,
findings from shoddy sources.
She basically walked up to the podium and destroyed Barack Hussein Obama. And she is not letting up. Dude, she commands the moment when she's up there talking. And I want to remind everyone that the Democrats picked Kamala Harris over Tulsi Gabbard. I just want everyone to remember that. After Tulsi Gabbard destroyed Kamala Harris, they chose Kamala Harris over Tulsi. Let's listen to this right here.
Findings from shoddy sources. They suppressed evidence and credible intelligence that disproved their false claims. They disobeyed traditional tradecraft intelligence community standards and withheld the truth from the American people.
A spokesperson for President Obama hitting back with this. Our office does not normally dignify the constant nonsense and misinformation flowing out of the White House with a response, but these claims are outrageous enough to merit one. These bizarre allegations are ridiculous and a weak attempt at distraction. That was
the fact that Barry seems like feels the need to have to respond to this. That tells you everything you need to know about this. And I love watching, Barry and the other elitist Democrats squirm right now, because they are in panic mode right now. Now, again, I want to preface this by saying I'm not one of the people that are just like, oh, we're going to see him going to jail and all that. I don't necessarily believe that at all. I hope that happens, but I don't believe that. I'll believe it when I see it, but I don't. Gun to my head, if I think, do I think Barack Obama is going to jail? No, I don't. I do not think so. With that said, though, watching him have to make an official response to this tells you that he's nervous, that he's very, very nervous.
On Tuesday, when this all started to come out, Congressman Jim Jordan is standing by with his reaction to what we just heard from the DNI, Tulsi Gabbard. But first to national correspondent Griff Jenkins, live covering this for us as it breaks from the White House. Hi, Griff.
Hi, Martha. Well, DNI Tulsi Gabbard certainly surprised us at today's White House briefing, laying out key findings from documents related to the Russia hoax, as the White House likes to call it, and particularly focusing in on a report from the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence from 2020 based on an investigation from 3 years prior. Listen here.
In the January 2017 intelligence community assessment that President Obama ordered, John Brennan, who was CIA director at the time, and the intelligence community intentionally suppressed intelligence that showed Putin was saving the most damaging material that he had in his possession about Hillary Clinton until after her potential and likely victory.
Classified, Martha, also states that former CIA Director Brennan, quote, ordered the post-election publication of 15 reports containing previously collected but unpublished intelligence, 3 of which were substandard, containing information that was unclear, of uncertain origin, potentially biased or implausible, and those became foundational sources for the ICA judgments that Putin preferred Trump over Clinton. The report comes the day after President Trump accused his predecessor of treason. Gabbard now says she's leaving that up to the DOJ and the FBI.
We have referred and will continue to refer all of these documents to the Department of Justice and the FBI to investigate the criminal implications of this.
For
the evidence,
Obama?
Correct. The evidence that we have found and that we have released directly point to President Obama leading the manufacturing of this intelligence assessment.
Dude, the fact that she calls Obama out directly right there, like, that is the greatest thing ever. One more time.
Found and that we have released directly point to President Obama leading the manufacturing of this intelligence assessment.
And Martha, already Democrats, including the ranking Democrat on the Senate Intelligence Committee, is dismissing this report as acts of desperation, reckless acts of desperation. We're continuing to follow this story and see what other reactions we can get. Martha?
This is a crazy, crazy situation. Now, as all of this is happening, suddenly, out of nowhere, this report drops from the Wall Street Journal. U.S. DOJ told Trump that in May, his name is among many in the Epstein files. So that happens right around the time all of this Obama stuff is going on. This report drops. Now, you have to ask yourself, why is this report dropping now? Why didn't this report drop 3 months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago? It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. And people are falling for it. And look, man, if you're a CNN viewer and you just don't know any better, then more power to you. But this is clearly, and as Autism Capital here says, the Wall Street Journal article is clickbait. It says nothing new at all. It's the same, quote, Trump has been associated in the files with Epstein. Trump was briefed on this and said, release what you can, and deferred to the DOJ and everyone else. So the Wall Street Journal is putting out this headline because they know that there are a lot of stupid people that do absolutely no research, and they just run with whatever headline that they can to buy into the own narrative that they have created. And a lot of people are running with it because there's a lot of stupid people out there. The Wall Street Journal, who's being sued by President Trump, conveniently puts this news out right when that happens. And how people aren't seeing right through this is truly incredible. But there are a lot of people that are buying it. Now, this is a fellow YouTuber. I don't know him. We follow each other on Twitter. I've actually told him that I really like his channel. He's been doing really big live streams recently. And so his tweet I thought was perfectly said. He says, "We have known since January 2025 that Trump's name is in the Epstein files because in 2015, Virginia Giuffre filed a lawsuit against Epstein in which she said that she first met Epstein at Mar-a-Lago, owned by Trump, in the summer of 2000. Listen, I'm incredibly dissatisfied with how the Epstein stuff has been handled. I agree with him there. He says he's spoken a ton about it on his live broadcast, but there is a genuine psyop unfolding right now, and it seems like pretty much everyone is falling for it. 1,000%. If you are falling for this, you are a fucking retard, because the media is pouncing on this story right now, and that should tell you that it's 100% bullshit when the mainstream media, because this is the most traction that they have gotten on any anti-Trump story in the last decade, because there's a lot of fucking retards that claim that they are on the MAGA side that are feeding into it because it's getting them a lot of attention right now. And so it's 100% a psyop that's going on. And there's a lot of people that, because they are conditioned or they believe whatever, that they're just eating up CNN and Wall Street Journal headlines, and they're not even second guessing it right now. And so, it's absolutely hilarious to watch this all play out. And these are the same people that will, be cheering President Trump on in a few months when something happens, and they'll act like they never insinuated that he was a PDF file or any of that, because these people, they just latch on to whatever they can to get any traction whatsoever, and you're going to see a lot of that right now. So but I mean, there's been a lot of movement on this story for sure. So U.S. House Committee votes to subpoena Bill and Hillary Clinton as part of probe into Epstein files and Ghislaine Maxwell. So there you go. And there's more names that are connected with the Clintons. You have an Obama judge that has denied the Trump administration access to the Epstein files. And I saw a tweet that I thought worked really well, because this right here, this to me symbolizes MAGA. If I could find it. Did I like that tweet or not? I can't remember if I liked it or if I bookmarked it. I guess I just bookmarked it, because this tweet right here, this is MAGA right here. If I can find it. Tweet was doing very well too. Right here we go. This is it. This is MAGA right here. Trump haters. Trump is on the Epstein list. Trump supporters. Okay, release it. Obama judge. No. Trump supporters are like, yeah, release it. Release whatever you got. We want to see all of it. Obama judge is like, no. We're going to continue to have left-wing outlets continue to try and build a narrative around Trump, but we're not going to actually release any information, and we're going to block it every step of the way. And do you know why they don't want to release any of the information that they have, whatever that is, whether that's a list, whether it's documentation, whatever the hell the list is, which who knows if that even exists or not. But the reason they don't want to release any of the information is because, isn't it coincidental that the Wall Street Journal, after all of these years, the Wall Street Journal has decided to release one name that they claim is in the Epstein files. Only one name. It's only one name that the Wall Street Journal has decided to say, we're going to release a name that's in the Epstein files. What name could that be, ladies and gentlemen? What name could that be? That would be Donald J. Trump. Interesting how that works, huh? Interesting. So, this is crazy. Today has been one of the wildest days I have seen in a long time. With all of this, there's a lot of noise, and there's a lot of people that truly don't know what the fuck they're talking about, to be honest with you. And let me see if I can find it. Also, this clip right here. Do you remember this clip? Do you remember this clip from Schumer right here? This is a pretty interesting clip right here, isn't it?
Take on the intelligence community. To take on the intelligence community, they have 6 ways from Sunday at getting back at you. So even for a practical, supposedly hard-nosed businessman, he's being really dumb to do this.
What do you think the intelligence community would do if they were motivated?
I don't know,
to?
but from what I am told, they are very upset with how he has treated them and talked about them. And we need the intelligence community. We don't know what's going on. Look at the Russian hacking. Without the intelligence community, we wouldn't have discovered it.
Do you think he has an agenda to try to dismantle parts of the intelligence community? I mean, this form of taunting hostility.
Whether you're a super liberal Democrat or a very conservative Republican, you should be against dismantling the intelligence community.
So there's Chuck Schumer essentially threatening President Trump, saying that we have 6 ways from Sunday of getting back at you. Literally threatening him, saying, do not go after us or we will destroy you. And people are falling for it. People are fucking falling for it today. It's fucking insane to me. People are like, yeah, Trump was in the Epstein files. It's like, good Lord, man, are you that stupid? Like, are you really that stupid that you think the Wall Street Journal and CNN are releasing information on Epstein out of the goodness of their heart? Are you kidding me? Good Lord, man. That's where we are. That's where we are. Let's see here. Right here. Obama appointed judge rejects DOJ's request to unseal the Epstein grand jury transcripts from the Florida probe. Is this a real picture? Like, is this a real picture? So there you go. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe this is the judge that, quote unquote, said, my hands are tied. My hands are tied on releasing this. That's a very interesting way of putting it. Hands are tied, guys. Can't do anything about it. This is unbelievable, man. First of all, hello, everyone. I'm sorry. We're on kind of like rapid fire at this point in time because so much is going on, and I'm trying to cover so much of all of this stuff right now. We also, in the documents that Tulsi Gabbard released, we got some interesting information about one Hillary Clinton. I'm trying to find that one right now. Got some interesting information on one Hillary Clinton. Let's see if I can find it really quickly. So Hillary's a disaster. Let's just go ahead and put that out there, okay? Right here. So accusing Hillary Clinton of psycho-emotional problems, uncontrolled fits, anger, aggression, and cheerfulness. This is what is describing Hillary Clinton, or Killary, as a lot of us like to say. And so that brings up an interesting, so Hillary, we remember all the video, remember the video of Hillary having to be loaded up in that van? She looked like she was like having a seizure or a heart attack or something like that. And that's really brought in a lot of the questions about like her health and how they covered up a lot of her health. Same thing with Joe Biden. And remember this clip right here of Hillary Clinton in 2016? Remember this?
Represent inmates Excuse me. Too much to say.
Bro, this is bad. This is bad. This is very bad. This is so bad.
That's been wow. Thank you, Hazel. That's been part of my mission.
It's not, this video still goes on for another minute and a half. Okay? These are the same Democrats that are pushing lies about President Trump right now that so many retards are buying into. They were telling you that this was a healthy, most qualified person in history to run for president.
And representing poor people through the Legal Services Corporation. It was about making people's lives better. And it taught me that even if you're young and you don't have a powerful job, if you work at it, you stick with it, you can make a difference. You know,
all right, we're done. But so if you go back to what the declassified intelligence said, she was on heavy tranquilizers and suffering from intensified psycho-emotional problems. Evidence of severe health ailments like type 2 diabetes. I mean, just the list goes on and on of all of these problems with Hillary Clinton. Meanwhile, Hillary, Obama, and his team were all behind the Russia hoax. They were all lying to you. They were lying to every single one of you. And people, unfortunately, a lot of people bought into this. A lot of people bought into this. Absolutely crazy. But yes, of course, you got this news right here. You know, House committee votes to subpoena Bill and Hillary Clinton as part of the probe into the Epstein files. Let's see who all's here. AOE2 Freak 410 says, hail Jeremy and chat. Thank you for being here. Ministry of Wrong Think for 20 says, we don't need just the names, aka the list released. We need context. If simply being named guilt by that logic, victims named are in it are guilty too. Trump gave key info to a PI. He better be in the files. He's a source. But again, and you're right about that, Ministry of Wrong Think, but you have a lot of people that are just completely obsessed with thinking that Trump is just covering stuff up, that they don't have the ability to logically think about any of this stuff. I can't help those people. They're very stupid. But if you're using common sense and logic to this whole situation, then, you know, it's obvious what's going on here. It's obvious there's a massive psyop going on, and unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are buying into the bullshit because they aren't smart enough to realize that they're being lied to once again by the people that have been lying to them their entire fucking life. The Tennessee Tornado says, reason Epstein. I don't care if Trump, Clinton, or Jesus himself came back and was involved. The fact that a massive child trafficking is being used as a political football by both sides is disgusting. Well, I don't know if Trump is per se, you can say the administration, because definitely people in his administration, but again, I will repeat, Donald Trump never proactively brings up Epstein. It's him always responding to questions about it. But Democrats didn't talk about Jeffrey Epstein at any point during Biden's presidency. And now it's all they want to talk about. It's all they want to talk about now. Interesting how that works. But so I don't know if it's being used by both sides as a political tool. I think that there are people in the Republican Party that have been talking about it for a long time. There's obviously pieces of shit in the Republican Party, obviously. But the Democrats have politicized this more so than the Republicans. Absolutely, the Democrats have politicized it. They never talked about it until now. The Democrats have politicized it. I understand the point you're trying to make, though. Gerald Armstrong says Jeremy's got a budget now. Always did. The Under Armour Gamer says, just saw Superman, and I didn't think it would be as bad as you guys talked about. I missed the first 10 minutes. The first 10 minutes of what? This stream or the movie? There's people that do like Superman 25. I did not at all, but it's doing very well domestically. So credit where credit's due. But it's doing really bad internationally. Darth Fiend says, whenever Jeremy travels and streams away from home, he's a chode on the road. Hail the 199 and hail the snake pit. DJ Fisty says, LA Fire concert fundraiser money given to NGOs. Say what? What is that? What is that story? I haven't heard that. Sergio says, when they raid Big Mike's closet, they're going to find photos of Jeremy. Hail the 199. Pedro says, I will keep saying it. A Democrat will never be indicted in D.C. That is where the jurisdiction is. D.C. is like 90% Democrat voters. This is true. Mike Zero Source says, have you ever played Mind? Why'd you say this twice, by the way? I don't know what you're trying to get me tripped up on, Mike Zero Source, but I have not. But I know there's a joke to it. Eric CB says, Wall Street Journal was always full of crap. Remember that hit piece they made against PewDiePie 8 years ago? Haven't paid attention to them since. Yep, I've talked about that many times here on this channel. Lying Dog Face Pony Soldier with a good membership. Thank you. Ehef says that she's not sick. Satan just has a hard time with smokeless air. She is a disgusting, horrible person, man. She really is. Okay, so there has been a lot of stuff dropped today, so let me try to keep you guys updated on some more stuff. Let me find it right here. There's this video going around, and I haven't, like, I've looked into it a little bit. So there's this video of Senator Kennedy freezing during a live interview, and people are speculating that something's going on. I feel like, well, we'll watch this clip, but I'll tell you what I think is going on. It feels like people are talking in his ear and distracting him, but I'll let you guys make up your own mind.
I'm sure Jesus loves them, but everybody else thinks everybody else. So I guess we had some more technical problems. That was the same mic as we lost with Senator Rand Paul. Awful sorry to hear that, because everybody respects what Senator John Kennedy has to say. You know,
I don't think that. I think that he was like, you know, when you do these interviews like this, you have like people in your ear and things like that. I don't think that there's anything wrong with him. I mean, he's old, but I don't think there's anything wrong with him. But people are, I saw people speculating on that, and I'm like, I don't think there's anything wrong with Senator Kennedy. I think it's a, you know, something to do with people talking in his ear or a faulty earpiece or something like that. Not sure, but let's see. JB username for $100. That's a MAGA red $100, by the way. MAGA red. All right. Today might be the 204th day of the year, but today is day 199 of not boozing. Thanks for all the laughs and entertainment Geeks and Gamers provides to us. Hail the chat, hail the snake pit, and hail the 199. Brother, that is fucking awesome. Everybody in the chat, throw a round of applause to JB username. That is awesome. I know not personally, because I haven't, but I've seen alcohol abused in my life with family members and things like that. So I know the struggle that goes with it. So congratulations to you, brother. And listen, every time you think about drinking, my suggestion is just go jerk off. That's the way to do it. I kind of want to drink, just jerk off. That's the way to do it, man. JRG Projects for $20 says Tulsi has more skin in the game than most of the people involved because she was accused of the same thing. That is correct. That is correct. She was accused of the same thing as Trump with the Russia hoax, and she won't be intimidated either since she is an active duty lieutenant colonel. Hell yeah. Hey, you're right about that. Dude, they will regret the day that they pissed off Tulsi. And they did it to themselves. Like, can I find that clip of Tulsi versus Kamala, where she just destroyed Kamala Harris, dude? Is this it right here? Is this it? Let's see.
You took issue with Senator Harris confronting Vice President Biden at the last debate. You called it a, quote, false accusation that Joe Biden is a racist. What's your response?
I want to bring the conversation back to the broken criminal justice system that is disproportionately negatively impacting Black and brown people all across this country today. Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Senator Harris, your response.
As the elected Attorney General of California, I did the work of significantly reforming the criminal justice system of a state of 40 million people, which became a national model for the work that needs to be done. And I am proud of that work. And I am proud of making a decision to not just give fancy speeches or be in a legislative body and give speeches on the floor, but actually doing the work of being in the position to use the power that I had to reform a system that is badly in need of reform. That is why we created initiatives that were about reentering former offenders and getting them counseling. It is why, and because I know that criminal justice system is so broken, that I am an advocate for what we need to do to not only decriminalize, but legalize marijuana in the United States.
I want to bring Congresswoman Gabbard back in. Your response.
The bottom line is, Senator Harris, when you are in a position to make a difference and an impact in these people's lives, you did not. And worse yet, in the case of those who were on death row, innocent people, you actually blocked evidence from being revealed that would have freed them until you were forced to do so. There is no excuse for that. And the people who suffered under your reign as prosecutor, you owe them an apology.
Cooked. Absolutely destroyed. And do you know what? The Democratic Party looked at that moment and said, we really need to back Kamala Harris. Do you know why the Democratic Party decided that they should back Kamala Harris? Because Kamala Harris is a fucking retard and she can be controlled. Tulsi Gabbard, they're not going to control Tulsi Gabbard. They're not going to control her at all. And that's exactly why they decided we need to eliminate Tulsi from the equation. And we need to get Kamala because she's a stupid, dumb bitch that we can control. Simple as that. Mark Mitchell had a phenomenal idea, and this is what drives me crazy about the Republican Party. The Republican Party is their own worst enemy. All right, right now, the momentum for the Trump administration, the momentum for the Republican Party is out of control, like in a good way. Okay? But we keep having these nonsensical bills put together. Right here, Mark Mitchell. I'm not going to stop saying it. Republicans should be passing popular one-page bills every week until November 26. Make the Dems vote no over and over and over again on things like voter ID. Like, why wouldn't you do this? Just show the Democrats for what they are. Show it. Don't leave the bullshit out of it. Put a simple bill up and show that the Democrats, because every time that there's a bill shot down, this goes to Republicans and Democrats, there's always the excuse of, well, there's a lot of this in it, there's a lot of that, and we voted against it for this reason or that reason. Keep it simple. Keep it simple and show what exactly the Democrats are voting against and what the Republicans are trying to push forward. I want to clarify something. Jeremy's going to stick with Trump no matter what. I just want to make it clear so that there's no confusing you or anyone else. You goddamn right I am. And my question is, what the fuck are you going to do about it? What the fuck are you going to do about it except cry? So yes, you goddamn right I am. Trump 2028. And there's not a fucking thing you can do about it. So just wanted to clarify that, just in case there was any confusion. I like to give clarification. 1992 space movie, which represents the person that I just highlighted, that comment. That person is a 1992 space movie. If you need to go and look up what a 1992 space movie is, be my guest. But that would be that person. Anyway, I remember when Tulsi ran for president, she did amazing during the first debate and her Google searches went through the roof. Then she got shadow banned and they pushed her out. No wonder she's going scorched earth. I agree. They have pissed her off. They have pissed her off. And I'm glad that she is in the position she's in. Now, the pressure goes to the DOJ and Pam Bondi. And that is going to be a whole different argument there. That's I'm not going to get my hopes up. Ministry of Wrong Thing says, I don't think Asman believes that Trump is guilty of that stuff, but I got to agree with him. This major accusation will at least force Trump to release. I don't know, man. I think perspective is a very important thing. It's a very, very important thing. The Epstein thing, and I've said this for a while, and I'll continue to say it. The Epstein stuff is a very, very popular thing on Twitter and social media. To the majority of MAGA supporters out there, most MAGA people don't give a shit about the Epstein stuff because they're not paying attention to this. It's not moving the needle at all. It's not hurting Trump. It's just not. It's hurting Trump from people that never supported Trump in the first place, but they want to sit there and pretend that that Trump has let them down, but they never really, like Luke Rudkowski, is that his name? Luke Rudkowski is crying about Trump every day. You were never a fucking Trump supporter to begin with. This guy was never a fucking Trump supporter, yet he claims every day how disappointed he is in Trump. It's like, you've always had TDS. The fuck are we talking about here? Why are you pretending that you ever were a Trump supporter? He was never a fucking Trump supporter. This dude has been crying about Trump for as long as I've known who he is. And now he's crying about Trump, now pretending like I'm let down by Trump. You've always hated Trump. And that's the psyop that's going on right now. Is you have a lot of people that always hated Trump, and they still hate Trump, but they're trying to make you believe that I believed that this was going to be different. I believe, like Dave fucking Smith, not a Trump supporter, not a Trump supporter. You could say, oh, he voted for Trump. Yeah, After saying Trump should be in prison, Dave Smith voted for Trump, and now Dave Smith is back to saying that Trump should be in prison. This is someone that I'm going to listen to about the heartbeat of MAGA and what MAGA is actually saying? No, not at all. So I don't believe that Trump has lost any support at all. I think Trump is facing a ton of criticism from Trump supporters. I'm one of them, but that doesn't mean he's lost support from me, because MAGA is about individuality. So MAGA people, true MAGA people, are criticizing the handling of the Epstein files and this disaster that we've had. Absolutely. That doesn't mean that they're turning on him completely. It's just not. So again, there's a lot of like gay ops going on right now, and people need to see that. Let's see. Ministry of Wrong Thing. I got that one. Mike Zero Source says, let's see. I knew it. Have you played Mind Goblin? Mind Goblin D's nuts. I knew it. Rye the guy says, did the Clintons get to the judge? We'll see. River Miles says, Hillary thrown into the van video. I had it pulled up, but it's doing that stupid Twitter shit. Let me see if I can pull it up now. You know how Twitter video is the worst thing ever? So I had the video pulled up, but it was is this it right here? This one right here. So this was Hillary. Was this chat will correct me on this. I believe this was maybe a few months before the 2016 election, right? A few months before the 2016 election. Oh, there it is again. Jesus. There we go. Okay. And you see, like, she's completely gone. She's out of it. They're having to literally physically put her in this van. Well, this was 9/11/2015. Is that what it was? 9/11/2015. Okay. So yeah, so I mean, when you add this into all of the stuff that we're seeing and finding out about her now, it's an interesting scenario we got. Warbringer says, always avoid people on psych meds. Crazy is crazy. Fantastic Mr. Knox says, kind of wild to see my friends at the time who believe the Russia hoax. Where are they now? Silent and gone after outing me as someone who likes Trump. I hear you on that one, man. Pat Man says, I saw the movie Eddington yesterday. I think you will heavily root for Joaquin Phoenix's character in the movie and against Pedro Pascal. I'm not going to be watching it. I don't have any desire to watch it. So Cliff, what's up? Cliff Fix says Trump's lawyer, Todd Blanche, is talking to Ghislaine Maxwell right now. Should Trump offer her a pardon to keep her mouth shut? I'm sure she wants one. No, Trump should not offer her a pardon. You know, again, without me knowing the details of it, like, you know, I'm not a judge. Okay. I'm just giving my opinion. Okay. But the things that Maxwell is guilty of, she should not be alive today because of that. Like, you hurt children, you harm children in any way, shape, or form, you have any knowledge of children being harmed, and you play any part of that, you are evil. You are evil. So now, when you talk about pardons and all of that, like, I don't know, man. You know, like, on one hand, it's like, yeah, if she's willing to open her mouth and talk about all the horrible people involved with it, I guess, but I just have a hard time, like, giving any justice to someone that's found guilty of what she did. You know what I mean? I mean, she's as guilty as Epstein is in a lot of ways. From a lot of the things we've heard, she's worse than Epstein in a lot of ways, because she was the woman that would manipulate young girls to kind of bring them into the fold at first. That's, you know, some of the things I've heard. That's all, you know, hearsay, I guess, but that's what I've heard. Like, she was kind of like Epstein's wingman. Like, she would be the one that kind of, like, you know, kind of created the relationship. It's fucking creepy, man. So I don't know, man. I on the premise, I don't like the idea of her being considered for a pardon at all. But there's a bigger picture to it of like if it could lead to all of this other stuff, but I don't know. Solo Felix says 100 million raised for fire victims. They saw zero of it. Oh, that's what he was talking about. I did see that story going around. Soldier on, new member, thank you. Celebrity Jeremy says most Republicans are closet globalist Democrats, so they're in on the scam already. That's the thing too, is like people are always like the argument that Trump is the same as Obama or Clinton or George W. Bush. That statement is a statement that is being made by someone who is completely fucking retarded. I mean, Trump's actions against Obama right now is all the proof you need outside of everything else that he's done. But I mean, Trump is sitting there on national TV calling Obama a traitor to his own country. When have we ever heard another fucking president do that to another former president? Like, it's fucking crazy that he is up there. But the thing is Trump's done this so much now, we're almost desensitized to Trump and the shit that he says. Like, look at this right here. I saw this clip. I don't know when this was. Theo Vaughn and Joe Rogan. Like, we do not appreciate, we've got to the point where Trump is so insane in a good way. We've become desensitized to his unbelievable once in a lifetime personality. Listen to this.
Want to hear something crazy? Trump, at the day of the election, Dana White told me he'd been up for 72 hours.
Unbelievable.
I go, how's that possible? He goes, dude, he's a freak. It's so weird.
Well, yeah, dude, I'll say some things here's things that, like, whatever you think about, there's things that the guy is as resilient. No one could go through all that shit. When the Justice Department started to fuck him over, that's when a lot of people were like, you know what? The only thing we should be able to believe in this country is at least the justice system. And if they're fucking him over,
right.
And then he got shot at a couple of times, dude. He's a quarter of 50 Cent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, so it's like, what else does it, at a certain point, you just like, I got to bet on this dog, even if it's like, you don't even like him. It's like, this motherfucker, this dude, you got to bet on that dog. If not, it's just bizarre,
I mean, the guy gets up and says, fight, fight, fight after he got shot in the ear. He's not freaking out. He's like, oh my God, I got shot. Get me out of here. They're shooting. He looked, he goes, no, stop, fight.
Yeah.
Fight.
Dude, I stubbed my toe. I called my assistant a faggot. It's like, so yeah, there's something special about that guy.
You want to hear something?
Woo! You love to see it right there. You love it. Gamer words are the best. And he's not wrong, by the way. He's not wrong. Oh, man. All right. Warbreer says, I took your advice on what to do regarding my craving for a drink. Thanks. I feel better now. Also, you know what helps in the aftermath? A nice Captain Morgan and Coke. Thanks, Jeremy. This is what CobraCast does, all right? This is what CobraCast does. I'm here to help. Here to help whatever way I can. Ministry Wrong Thing says, bro, just take the tinfoil pill. This is based on real evidence, a global PDF file conspiracy, FFS, possibly involving Israel. It's not 4D chess, but clearly it's happening. Then Trump doesn't care. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, it's like anything else, man. The anti-Israel crowd is just so fucking annoying that I don't care about their theories. Like, I really don't. Like, they're just so goddamn annoying that I just don't care. And that's their own fault for being so... They're like Rick and Morty fans. They just won't shut the fuck up. And everything in their life revolves around anti-Israel. So it's like, even if it's true, I don't fucking care because these motherfuckers have annoyed me so much. So it's like, I can't take you seriously. I can't take you seriously. So You dumb motherfuckers have just ran your mouth and cried that Israel is the worst thing and every problem in your life is surrounded by Israel. And then now you're like, no, Jeremy, this time is for real. This is the one time it's for real. And I'm like, okay, and then, so I just, they're annoying as shit. And it's it's the same thing. Like, politics is like sports. It just is. And we all have that one friend who's a fan of a team to the point where they won't shut the fuck up about the team and you're just like, I'm going to actively cheer against that team. Not because I hate the team, just because I hate you talking about the team, And that's how anti-Israel people are. They think everything is tied into something anti-Israel. So it's like, it's the boy that cried wolf. So it's like, well, if that were true, that would be a valid thing to talk about. Unfortunately, you've blamed literally every fucking problem in your life on Israel. So why should I listen to this? So Ministry of Wrong Things says, base department interrupted Kennedy with a call. Also 100%, I know that by me saying this, it pisses them off, which makes me so happy. I like aggravating the anti-Israel crowd, because, they're like Jehovah Witnesses for the internet, where they're always like, hello, sir. Have I told you that Israel is responsible for everything? I'm like, I don't fucking care. Thank you. But we all roll our eyes at the Jehovah's Witness. We all make fun of them. The anti-Israel people are the Jehovah's Witnesses of the internet. That's who they are. And then you call them out and they get really mad about it. Ministry of Wrong Things says the biggest problem in 2024 for Biden was that he couldn't speak. Kamala's biggest problem was that she could. This is true. This is very true. Zypher199 says stabbing my eardrums out listening to her talking about Hillary. John Jones says reminder that the House passed the SAVE Act over 3 months ago and the Senate still hasn't voted for it. Well, I think Trump still has like over 200 of his, cabinet that has not been approved. What other presidents had to deal with that? Name it. You can't. Although I will say, somebody pointed out that when I said, when have we ever had a president call out a previous president? And someone said, well, Biden did that to Trump. And your point stands. I think we all understand, though, that's a Trump issue, not necessarily, like these guys are all part of a fraternity. We've seen the pictures with George W. Bush and Barack Hussein Obama and George H.W. Bush and, Bill Clinton, and they're all one big club. Do you know who's never in that picture? Donald Trump. Never in that picture. Celebrity Jeremy says, to be clear, Trump is no globalist Democrat. He stands alone, and that's why we trust him. But a lot of Republicans in Congress are part of what he's fighting against. Absolutely. Like, if you want to tell me, like, who's that one guy? Is he a congressman? Randy Fine in Florida? Like, he would be the equivalent of the anti-Israel people. He's worse on the pro-Israel side. Like, he's so pro-Israel. He's like the anti-Israel people on the pro-Israel side. Like, and people like him drive me crazy too. So people like that guy, didn't he say like he like shook Netflix Yahoo's hands or something like that? And he's not going to wash his hands till he touches his kids or some shit like that. Like, what the fuck? Like, it is wild, like, I think there's crazy people on the anti-Israel side. There's crazy people on the pro-Israel side. And then there's like normal people in the middle. And they're like, yeah, Israel's kind of shitty for what they're doing. Yeah, there's some interesting questions there. And I think that's okay. You should be calling them out. I think there's a lot of things that you should be talking about with Israel. I think there's a lot of questions and a lot of concerns. And there's a lot of politicians that are clearly bought and paid for by them. And I'm okay having that conversation. I'm not having the conversation with all these motherfuckers who think they're responsible for every fucking problem in their life. Darth Gavel says, Googling 1992 space movie, OMG. I do have a stream coming up soon. Slain Hope says, you always say the same examples of Dave, Luke, and Tim. Yeah, I mean, well, do you want me to bring up how Ian fucking Carroll made a prediction that how we were going to have boots on the ground in Iran because Israel was going to make it happen. Do you remember that prediction from Ian Carroll? Ian Carroll predicted that this is how Israel is going to get boots on the ground with the Iran situation. Guess what? He was fucking wrong. Has he apologized for that? Has he backtracked on that? No, he has not. No, he has not. Not even fucking close. Because that's what that group does. They put those ridiculous, retarded fucking things out there, and then they never retract them or anything. They just move on to the next conspiracy that Israel bad. Support my Patreon. That apparently is Patreon ran by the Jews too, but you want people to, I guess, if everything is ran by the Jews, then how do you make money at anything? So if everything is controlled by the Jews and you're on Patreon, aren't you making your money from the Jews? Oh, man, that's a tough predicament right there. So anyway, Fantastic Snox says, something funny for everyone. Ellen DeGenerate, who left USA because of TDS, couldn't even live on a farm for a year and decided to nope out and sell. Yeah, I saw that. Ramtax says, Jeremy, I think we're going to get GTA 6 before we see the Epstein list. Potentially. BH Doyle says, starting to look like Disparu with that hair. Yeah, I told you I'm not going to cut my hair. I'm not going to do it. I will at some point, but JRG Project says, criticizing out of love is far different than attacking out of hate or jealousy. At the end of the day, it's Trump and us versus these criminals. Agreed 100%. Sports Geek says, we have no political affiliations. Everyone's welcome. Just bring your own towel. That's my stance. Well, I'm a Trumplican or a MAGA, but that's about it. John freaking Murdoch 450 says, hey, Jeremy, looky there, 2 days in a row. Got to be some kind of record. I like Israel, but not sure what about Netflix Yahoo. Have a good evening. Travel safe. Hail the 199. Thank you, brother. I mean, I will tell you right now, point blank, just I don't trust Netflix Yahoo at all. I think he is an evil, vindictive, corrupt piece of shit and a manipulator. Absolutely. Like, I don't even think there's a debate to be had about that. Like, I don't know how anyone cannot listen to that man and how he talks and how he behaves and not come to that conclusion. That is an evil dude. And the fact that he met with American podcasters, including Tim Pool, and was trying to leverage them to do his dirty work is absolutely insane. That is a fact that you can criticize. That is something, if you bring that to me and say, Jeremy, what is your opinion on the prime minister of Israel meeting with American podcasters to try to leverage them to put out a pro-Israel message? I'm going to say that is bullshit, and everybody should be calling that out. Everybody should be calling that shit out. And that's a good conversation to have. But what I don't do is I don't listen to people that are constantly trying to talk down to you like they know more than you or you're just not paying attention. I promise you, the fact that there's people that the anti-Israel people, like, how many times do I have to drop names of a lot of these people before they start to realize maybe Jeremy does pay attention to this stuff a lot more than we give him credit for? Like, I keep dropping names of these people, a lot of these people, and there's people that are even deeper into it that I pay attention to and watch all the time. So I do pay attention to that stuff, and I find it to be completely laughable the more that I watch it. And I find that the people that are talking about it are doing it because it gets them a lot more fucking attention than somebody like me gets. And that's where the true genius of it is that they have made people think that they're being held back when in reality they're blowing up more than any fucking body. And that's the beauty of it. And they have made people think that they're being suppressed. Candace Owens is being suppressed. By the way, she's getting sued now, which is funny. But yeah, Candace Owens, guys, 4.5 million subscribers on YouTube, is being suppressed. Poor Candace, the multimillionaire Candace, who charges you for any interaction that you have with her is being suppressed by the Jews. Okay. Good Lord. People believe that shit. Slain Hope says, if Trump kept his pledge to seek the death penalty for human trafficking, it would go a long way in mitigating the damage that has already been done. Richard says, Bush sure is quiet and staying out of the 9/11 drop. George W. Bush is a piece of shit too. Angels for a 149 super sticker. Thank you. Alex Arrow Cave says, Geeks and Gamers daily shirts would be badass. Death says, you see the California Fire Aid charity concert did with the money? I did. A couple people talked about it. It's been such a busy day with a lot of this. So some of the stuff has gotten past me, but I did see that story going on earlier. Okay, we have a quick out right now because we got Mario Kart over on Geeks and Gamers Play. I'm not hosting tonight because I'm on the road, so I'm not even going to try to get my setup together. So we will be over there live on that channel. So just a quick CobraCast to talk about some things, catch up on a lot of the news. And so I will be live over there if you guys are interested in hanging out with us. Let's see. You guys are still sending super chats. Holy shit. John freaking Murdoch for 50 says, I've come to the conclusion that you're all a bunch of grifters, but I'm okay with that. Oh, and I heard it was Jessica's birthday. Look at that. Jessica's birthday. Look at that. Let me see. Deathu says, I got that one. Little Jim's Halo says, you see that Florida socialist grocery store closed? I didn't. Slain Hope says, why do I try? I get way more bang for my buck out of a $2 super chat. Look, man, there's no rhyme or reason as to like what's going to, like, I've seen Tuesday night's main event where a $50 or $100 super chat will spend like 30 minutes on it. You know, and then others will spend just a little time on it. And then I've seen $2 and $5 super chats on main event create like legitimate like memes that have lived on for years. You know what I mean? It's crazy. But anyway, okay, we got to end it there. Thank you guys. I will raid the Geeks and Gamers Play stream, and I'll be back again tomorrow. And I expect this week is going to be wild, but like I said, I am traveling, so it's going to be hit or miss for me for until Monday. I'm going to be a little hit or miss, but I'm still going to be here live. Family's just going to take a back seat. All right. We got to stream. All right. Politics is the new WWE. So family's just going to have to deal with that shit right now. Okay. Taker says, don't you have some engines in a factory, Jeremy? Says Taker. He's traveling to Bro Island. Let's see. Jeremy, mod lives matter, says Jessica. And chat lives matter. Chat lives do matter. So, all right, guys. Thank you. I'll see you over there. Have a good evening. And if you want to hang out with us while we play video games, we appreciate it, but you don't have to. No stream on D-Day Cobra Gaming tonight. Only Geeks and Gamers Play. So have a good night. We'll talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.